This is problem number 3 for writing equations in parallel and perpendicular lines. The question says, write the equation of the linear inequality shown below. And I have shaded in green just to make it darker. Hopefully your copy is pretty dark. It's shading on the bottom side of this line here. So this is a linear inequality instead of a linear equation. So it's easiest first, let's identify the equation of the line and then we'll deal with the inequality. So the equation of a line is easiest in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. In this graph, it looks like the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis, is at -2. So b is -2, and the slope, it looks like, if I pick 2 points on the line, this point right here is 0, -2, the y-intercept, and this point right here looks like 4, -3. How do I get from there to there? What's the ratio in the change in y? It's -1, so we go down 1 for every 1, 2, 3, 4 that we go in the positive direction for y. I'm sorry, for x. So the slope is -1/4. So my equation of that line is y equals -1/4 x minus 2. That would be fine if it was just the line. But now we have to account for all of these points over here that also make this true. So we're not going to use an equal sign, we are going to use an inequality. And the inequalities that we use are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. These 4 we have to choose from. Okay, well, for greater than or less than, that is a dotted line, and that is not what we have here. So if you have a dotted line, you're going to choose between greater than or less than, but because we have a solid line, we're going to choose greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So let me rewrite the equation right here. Y, and then -1/4 x minus 2. Now I think that because the shaded portion is below or less than the line, I am going to say y is less than or equal to -1/4 x minus 2. Now here is where we have to pick a point to check. We have to pick test points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point on the green part of the line. Let's pick this point right here. This is point 0, -6. Let me substitute in for x and for y into my inequality. So y is less than or equal to -1/4 x minus 2. So I'm going to plug in for y -6 is less than or equal to -1/4 x is 0 minus 2. And I'm just going to put a question mark. That's how I like to do it, because I'm not sure if it's true. -6 is less than or equal to -1/4 times 0 is 0 minus 2. Again, question mark. Let's make sure. -6 is less than or equal to 0 minus 2 is -2. So is -6 less than or equal to -2? Yes, -6 is smaller than -2, so that does work. That means we have chosen our inequality correctly. Let's pick a point on the other side just to make sure that it does not make the inequality true. So let me pick the easiest test point of all, which is 0, 0. As you know, 0, 0 is the origin. This should make the inequality false because it's not on the shaded part of the line, if we did our job correctly. So y is less than or equal to -1/4 x minus 2. Let me substitute in 0 for y and 0 for x. Again, I just like to put a question mark. 0 is less than or equal to -1/4 times 0 is 0 minus 2. 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 2? Is 0 less than negative 2? No, 0 is greater than negative 2. So this is not true, which means we picked our inequality correctly, and the test points that we use make this inequality true. We could have picked any point over here. We could pick this point right here, which is, this point right here is 8, negative 9. If we pick 8, negative 9 and use it as a test point, it should make the inequality true. Let's try that real quick. So y is less than or equal to negative 1/4 x minus 2. Y right here in this test point is negative 9 is less than or equal to negative 1/4 times 8 minus 2. Negative 9 is less than or equal to negative 1/4 times 8 is negative 2 minus 2. Negative 9, again I have question marks at each of these steps, is less than or equal to negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Is negative 9 less than or equal to negative 4? Yes, negative 9 is less than negative 4. So this makes this inequality true. We have identified our inequality correctly. So the correct inequality for this graph is y is less than or equal to negative 1/4 x minus 2.